Open your eyes and look inside. The very thing they try to kill is what they can't divide. When will they realize they can't pop like us? They can't talk like us. They ain't cut from the same cloth like us. I introduced to you two cool dudes who added some beauty to the crew. So everything you saw and what you knew is obsolete. So just hop on the path. You know we gon' make it last. I introduced to you the Triggered Podcast.
Okay.
Selfish kids.
I wanted
Is it selfishness or irresponsible?
both.
Oh, you say both.
I wanted to smack her. And then she had an attitude with me in the car.
Like you was
Is
wrong.
this the oldest one or the youngest?
The youngest one.
I'm sorry.
Like,
I got
I'm
you
telling
wrong.
her where it's wrong at. Like, you understand, like, it's wrong because even if you did get an Uber to work, you're going to be on time. If your sister hadn't changed her schedule, she would be late.
Mm-hmm.
And she was all like, I didn't ask her to change her schedule. I almost called her something.
That's a typical teenage response, though.
There.
Oh man, you tripping.
I said it don't matter if you asked her to change her schedule. She was calling you and you didn't answer, so she just went on and changed it, trying to accommodate you. You know, the oldest ones, when it's the youngest ones, they always the ones trying to take care of everything, make sure everybody okay. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, you wrong. You need to tell your sister you sorry. Here she goes.
My bad.
I was sorry. I wanted to smack the shit out of her. She lucky she was if she wasn't in the back seat.
So you just watched it?
Just watch this, yeah.
Oh man.
I wouldn't have it.
If she knew she was going to be at the graduation party anyway, she already planned to call Uber, and I could have did what I needed to do.
That's what I told her. I said, you could have told me about getting the Uber, and I wouldn't have been worried about it. I wouldn't have called her or nothing.
I would say it's immaturity.
Because I could see her location. I knew exactly where she was at. And then she gonna lie. Because if the park didn't have, I saw the park she was at, but she didn't really have no reception there. So when she telling me that she's on her way, I'm still saying she's at the park. So
She tried to hit you with the okie doke.
she made me so mad. I said, nigga, you do know I can see your location, right?
See, back in our day, we ain't had that problem. Look, we ain't had to worry about the
We just got in trouble when we got home.
For real.
You looking like, let me go ahead and kick it, because I know she gonna beat me
when
when
I get home.
I ain't getting in trouble. It wasn't in there. Did
You
you
didn't
leave
get
it
in
in here? No, I'm talking to her.
Oh.
Yeah, you said you was going to check the fire room.
I looked there. I just saw it right now.
Yeah, it was right there then.
It was behind the headphones. But I still need it. Let me see it.
Yeah, I had to be at home with the street lights.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying our parents didn't have
Curfews.
nothing to check, double check if we was really where we said, you know what
How
I
old
mean?
were you?
When?
When you had to be home with the streetlights?
Like 13.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about.
Bro,
because your kids is out of high school. That's why I ain't know.
Yeah, my kids 18 and 19.
So
but
that's
it's
what
the
I thought you
point,
meant,
like,
that-
especially they going to college together. So when they get to school,
I think that's dope.
They want to transfer from the Amazon here to the Amazon there. My oldest, she is the responsible one. She has her license. She drives. She's the responsible one. My oldest one, my youngest one can drive, but she's still missing that responsibility aspect.
Okay.
So I really don't let her drive at all.
So,
So,
which responsibility aspect in terms of what?
like
being a
respectful
responsible
of
driver?
Response.
Oh, you talking about in terms of time?
Yes.
Okay, I got
and
you.
then also like where she at that age where, oh, I got my license, I got the car, I'm finna go pick up all my friends.
Oh yeah.
My oldest daughter is like, I'm going from A to B.
Yeah.
I ain't picking up nobody. I ain't calling nobody. I'll be there when I get there. Like if it's a passenger in the car, it's normally my daughter.
Is the youngest one the more social one? Yes. That would explain it.
Yeah.
Explain.
Like she is my child that I know would be driving all on the phone. You know what I'm saying? My oldest daughter is more so like she focused more so like on the road. So they trying to get transferred to Amazon in Florida. So of course my oldest would be taking both of them to work basically.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get my youngest on the track now that, hey, when y'all get to school, she's not responsible for you.
Right.
It's not her responsibility to make sure you get up for class, make sure you get ready for work. That's not her responsibility, but I know she's going to take on that role because she's the oldest.
Okay.
And if I don't break her from this now, she's going to depend on her for everything.
You know, side note too. I had a 12 o'clock curfew until I was 19.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
You can bring it over some more.
Until you was 19.
Until I was no lie.
Damn.
I told her
I
yesterday
grew
to
up
be
strict.
home.
Yeah.
I had a 12 o'clock curfew until I moved out the house. My parents tried to act like they don't remember that. Like,
Yeah.
I never even wanted to go anywhere because at a certain point, you know, when we were young, it was the monastery. Stuff didn't pop off to 12:30.
Oh yeah.
That's what I used to say.
So I
yeah.
never went anywhere. You
We
know?
was in there. I'm
Or
getting
I
home
had
at
to-
5, 6 in the morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't have a curfew at my grandmother's house. I lived with my grandmother for a time. So
Okay.
the rule was with my grandmother, if I was always with Rachel, with my sister. So the rule was
As long as you with your sister.
you with your sister.
Yeah.
So we'd be on the east side. I'm 15 on the east side hanging out the
Hang
window.
out, yeah.
It's like
man,
4 o'clock
see?
in the morning.
So you was the first sexy red. Get away.
No,
What the
but
fuck is you hanging out together?
But I
The
think
fuck
that's
is you
why
hanging out the window
I think that's
for?
why I don't go out now. Like I
Yeah,
did all
yeah.
that. I was
See,
like, I'm good.
my pops was strict, so my room in the basement was just like this room, and my big self would climb out. My window was just
Oh,
like
man.
this.
Hey, my
And so
partner, man.
My daddy was old. Well,
Yeah.
not old, but older.
Yeah.
And so he used to go to bed early. So he used to be like, we used to argue all the time about my curfew. So I said, you know what? I know the habits. So my dad used to watch black and white movies and fall asleep. So my partners used to get mad because we'd be out. I'd be like, hey, take me home real quick. Because he will always listen for the door.
Right.
So at 12 o'clock come, he heard me like I'm coming in. I come downstairs and climb out the window and be right back outside.
Oh, that's crazy.
I used to
See,
climb
I
in the
just
keep
stayed,
hitting
I
it.
just
You
like
know,
I'm
you
staying at my
keep
best
hitting it.
friend's
I
house.
am.
Right.
Yeah, that
Probably my
was away.
stomach, bro. I probably
Aisha
would.
house. So the way
you
we
good,
would
man.
play it, there was no curfew at my grandmother's house if we were with my sister. Literally, the only rule was call me and let me know you're okay. That was basically the only rule.
Cool.
So Aisha would tell her daddy, "Oh, I'm going to spend the night at Virginia's house." I'm with my mama. Like I ain't have to ask to go to my granny's house. And then for a while, like my mom didn't even live here. I was living with my grandmother. So Aisha just like telling Garvin, "I'm finna go to Virginia's house for the weekend." We all on the riverfront, Fuel Man lot, Taco
Yeah,
Bell,
the riverfront word.
in front of the monastery. We was
I'm glad my baby
outside.
wasn't doing this shit.
You wasn't out? You never go to the riverfront or nothing?
Oh, no, I did.
You did?
Like,
Okay.
when I-
No.
yeah, but I
I'm talking
had
my
to.
daughter.
You
I'm talking about
daughter.
from a parental aspect. Her parents.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from a parental aspect. Yo, as
But
a
that's what
teenager,
kids
I
did.
don't know, man. I was
Yeah.
a responsible kid.
See, my
Whatever.
oldest she's a bit more responsible, but she still do teenage stuff. Like they went to, it was like in May or something. It was like a car show. It was like somewhere around here. They went to the car show. Then you know how everybody went to Quick Trip after the car show. They started shooting after the car show on Quick Trip. Now she'll never go to that Quick Trip, and she was like, "I'm never going to a car show." Like my oldest is that kid that learned the first time.
Yeah, that's me. That's
They
me.
started shooting. She was like, "I'm good. I'm never coming back." My youngest was just like,
I ain't get shot. Hey.
"That's her.
Yeah, I'm Mr. One and Done.
That's her."
I found out the stove hot in my hand. Ain't got to go in that motherfucker without the glove no
Yeah,
more.
my oldest came in the house, and then she the kid that tell me everything. So she came in the house. She was like, "Mommy, they, the cars, they was hitting donuts and stuff. We was kicking it." So then we went to the gas station. I told Emma is her best friend. It's a little white girl. She said, "I told Emma, let's not go to this Quick Trip." Emma is more hood than my daughter.
Oh, okay.
So she was like, I told Emma, no, let's not go to this Quick Trip. Let's go to the other one. But Emma's mind frame was, but we're right here and it's at the highway. So she like, no, we just gonna, get gas, whatever. We gonna. Next thing they know, everybody from the car show on the lot. Everybody jumping out the car, they doing donuts, everything. Next year, you just hear somebody shooting, and somebody really got shot. My daughter was like, "I'm good." Like she won't even
I
go
only
to
did one
that Quick
time.
Trip in the day. She was like, "I'm never going back there again, ever."
I like that energy.
Yeah.
My youngest is more so like if they start shooting, yeah, she gonna run, she gonna duck for
Yeah,
cover,
but after
everything
that,
she
she gonna
gotta do. Then she gonna be the one.
Next
they
time
done.
I could just
Yeah.
like, I know what to do now. Yeah. Tell Zaire that's good. I'm Mr. One and Done.
For real.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got a guest today. We got Tay in the building. What's up, Tay? What's up? You're a parent. You over there all quiet. I don't want to go back as far as when you was coming up. But maybe your kids. Did you have any kids that tried to test you with this sneaking out or a line where they at or some shit like that?
That's my oldest.
My kids was in the house by 9 o'clock because I had trained them young.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, she turned 16, and me and my sister was staying across the parking lot from each other. My sister said, she snuck out while you wasn't here. I ain't believe her, so I done came all the way home.
No.
Not my baby.
Shit.
So my sister over there where you at, and I'm over here where I'm at, waiting for my daughter to come home.
Oh God.
Baby, they get out the cab. They
Yeah.
nasty.
Wait a minute. They was in the cab?
Like,
God
they-
damn.
They got out
They
the
wanted to
cab.
kick it for real.
No, we don't. We had never been in the cab in our life. How did she learn about the cab? I mean, they kicking it. It's like 6 of them. They get over there to my sister's house. My sister said, go across there and get some out. I had parked my car across. She came in there. We beat the hell out of her.
I was finna ask you what you do.
I don't know. I whooped her butt.
Oh, man. The statute of limitations up, ain't it? Somebody beat the hell out of them. You don't want to.
Nah, they grown now.
No,
I'm
at
just
16, you just couldn't leave no scratches on her.
Oh, man.
But I had never experienced that with her, and I don't think I ever experienced that after her.
After that, yeah.
Now, you can't be telling people how to get away with it and shit. So as long as there ain't no bruises.
See, my oldest wasn't the one that was doing all the sneaking out and stuff. It's my youngest.
Yeah, Nana looks sneaky.
She is.
She
me.
looks sneaky, but she don't look sneaky. She look like it is what it is.
That's
how Nana
That's
is.
she's me.
She
She
nonchalant.
is
Yeah, she
literally
just
me.
you.
Like
Yeah.
she has my personality to a T. But that's why I be telling her, like,
Yeah.
I know what you're going to do. 'Cause that's what I would have did. Like
Yeah.
literally, that's how she get caught in most of the stuff. Because I just think back, like, this is what I would have did. So
Yeah.
she get caught doing everything.
I think it's kind of weird. Not from a being caught aspect, but with my daughter, I still struggle with trying to get her to understand that I know everything that you're experiencing. Not just from having experienced it as a person, but I see how she thinks and she acts. She's just like me. And I'm like, it's a lot of things that you might be going through or not knowing how to navigate, and I can help you. I'm your easiest resource.
I think they think sometimes.
They know better. They just
Or-
they think they
Oh,
know
yeah, I
better.
know.
Yeah, or they think we not
experience
human or
is there.
something.
Like they gotta go. That's how my daughter is. You could tell
Yeah.
her, my oldest.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're doing. This she has to go through it to get through it.
Yeah, but I'm
So
saying
it's
like,
just- it's
I mean, not
nothing-
even just things that she's like doing and things like she is me. Every emotion, every reaction, and everything, and she needs to just understand that I can teach you how to learn yourself to make you better. That's all.
That's what I'm trying to teach now.
More so, not like I went through this when I was young, but more like, yeah, you're different. You're like me, and most people are not going to understand you, but I do. Because I never had that. I still never had the person that fully understands what I am. I'm psycho to a lot of motherfuckers, probably.
I'm trying to teach
Fuck
Nana
you.
that, like,
I saw the way you shook your head.
Nana is literally me. Like, everything that she does or like try to do or whatever, it's almost exactly what I did when I was her age. So I'm like, Nana, it'd be better if she would just tell me.
Yeah.
She think I don't know nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So
and
what if she told you?
sometimes when I'm talking to her, I could look at her facial expression and tell she thinking they don't know shit.
So what if she told you? Like, would you allow her to do what it is she's trying to sneak to do, or like what is that like?
No,
if she
it
comes
would
in?
be more so like, because one thing I know about her, because how I was, I could tell you everything that's gonna go wrong, and you still gonna do it. So I'm more so like, my approach now with her is, I'm going to tell you everything that's going to happen. When it happens, don't come to me and say, why you didn't tell me this was going to happen? I warned you. I told you if you go down this path, A, B, C, D is going to happen. There's no way around it.
I was one of
So
them
I'm
kids,
giving you
yeah.
the real so you won't go down this road, but I know her. She's going to go down that road.
And that's
Because
what I'm
she
saying, like,
got to
yeah.
learn the hard way. She has to see for
Yeah.
herself.
I was like one of them kids.
Never
Some
been that
kids,
nigga.
they just like, my dad was super, preacher, all that stuff, strict. But I had to see it for myself, because for me, she probably like that. It stuck better with me when I went through it. But some instances I listened, but overall, like, some kids like, no, I need to. If I go, like how you said, touching the stove, some kids, they'll never touch it. They just believe that it's hot. They won't. Then other people like, I need to touch it and get the scar, and then now I know. You know what I mean? I was always one of them people, because I used to drive my dad crazy, because me and him are exactly alike. And I see myself like that with my oldest son, with Dylan. And I'm like, man, if you would just listen to me. And I had to stop myself and be like, nah, he one of the ones, like you said, he just got to go through it. And I just got to, and I had to learn like a different approach because my dad was like, I told you so. See? And no compassion, you know, because he like, I already told you and you did it, so that's on you. And I'm like, that kind of messed me up on one end. So when it come to like Dylan, I'm like, I want to be that dad that kind of somewhere in the middle. I ain't gonna say I told you so, but I'm gonna try to talk you through it.
Once you go through it.
Yeah. Because I never got the talking through it. I just got the.
I told you.
Told you.
I told you.
Told you so was hot.
Yeah.
With her, I try to take that approach. But like Tano, girls are so different than boys. They are 100% different than boys. Like, she really thinks she know more than me. And I could look in her face and tell, like, she thinks she really knows more than me. So usually, like, when something happened now, even though I warned her what could happen, the repercussions, all of that, when she still go do it, I just be there like, come on.
Yeah, bring it in.
And then she'd be like, Mommy, you was right. And I used to be like, I know. Now I don't even say I know. I just have to ask her, okay, so what did you learn from this? Like, what are you going to do different next time? Because if I come to her and be like, I told you so, now she's going to stop talking to me. Because she ain't trying to hear that. She ain't trying to hear that I was right, even though I was right.
Yeah.
That's not what she trying to hear. But my oldest is 100% different. Okay. Like, if I tell her, like, hey, Zaire, if you do this, look, I'm telling you this was going to happen. She believed it.
Yeah.
She like, shit. Okay. But my youngest is just like if you tell her the stove is hot, she gonna put her hand on the stove, she gonna put it in the oven, she gonna touch the pot, she gonna do all of that.
So question, as an adult, we're talking about parenting kids and knowing when you're right and then she not wanting to say it. Yesterday we were having a conversation, so I wanted to know, have there been instances as you're an adult that you realize your parent was correct and you went back to your parent to let them know that you understand it and apologize for something you did in the past?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I find myself doing
All the
that.
time. I never do it to this day.
Never.
I was a good kid. I'm
not saying just with being bad.
But I never wanted to disappoint my parents. So I wasn't
Me too.
out sneaking or didn't, it was never like, I hate you, you wrong. It was never that type of relationship between my parents and I. So I was just, I was the poster child.
Little fucking, it's perfect over here.
Like, seriously though, I never.
Yeah. My upbringing was so different because I lived with my mom at first, and my mom was outside. So my mom wasn't never really home. So I was kind of wild. Then when I moved with my dad and my stepmom at 13, that was leave it to Beaver. We eating dinner at 6. Come in the house when the street lights is on. And it was like trying to navigate through that. It wasn't like I didn't want to disappoint them. I just felt like they didn't really know what they was talking about. Because like when I say, I always say this. Like somebody could be 40, right? And I always say you could be 40 young or you could be 40 old. My dad was old. Like he still thought you could get tennis shoes for $20. He was old. So what was going on in the 90s, he didn't really understand it. So my plight was like, you know what you're talking about, but you don't know what you're talking about. It's not as simple as just say no type. You know what I mean?
My upbringing was, I don't really know how to describe it. It's so many different sides to it. Because one, I had a young mother that hated my father. For whatever reason, she didn't like my daddy. So, and then I had that mother where she was too prideful, like, to ask my grandmother for help. So we would have points in life, like, where we were struggling, like, bad, but she would never, like, call my grandmother for help. So it was like, for me, my grandmother was always the stability. Like, I knew whatever was going on at my mama's house. Like, my mama didn't have drug addict boyfriends where they stealing shit out the house. Just, like, all type of stuff. So that like, leave it to Beaver thing, that's only on TV, bro. Like, sometimes we ate dinner. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it was just every man for himself. And then my sister went to go live with my grandmother when I was, like, 10. So it's just me and my mama. So I'm going through my mama. I'm going through everything with my mother. But my sister is with my grandmother. She's stable. Went to go live with my daddy, not knowing that he was starting his drug addiction or whatever. So I just bounced around a lot.
Yeah.
But I could always go back to my grandmother, and it was that
Safety
stability,
net, kind
that
of that
safety.
safety.
Yeah, I knew when I was at my grandmother's house, I knew how everything was gonna go. I knew we was
It's
gonna
more
eat
structured.
dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew what her attitude, what her temperament, and all of
stability.
that was gonna be when I came in the house. So I actually felt more comfortable
Okay.
talking to my grandmother and my sister than my mama, because
yeah,
I
'cause you
never
figure, like-
knew where my mama mind was going. And not saying she was
gotta
a
look
bad
at them like
mother.
shit. You got something figured out because
Yeah.
there's some form of consistency. So I think
Like,
it would
not
build up
saying
the
she was
trust.
a bad mother. My mama just
Like, you wasn't talking to the mic, you was leaning up.
not saying
You
she was
used to
like
the other-
she wasn't like a bad mother or anything. She just, I'ma say we all grew up together, because she's an excellent grandmother, like the best grandmother you'll ever meet. So I think from my mama, I think I probably learned what not to do. Maybe, I guess you could say, because some of the stuff I see myself doing, some of the stuff she used to do.
Yeah.
But then when I look at some stuff I'm doing, I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I know that ain't gonna work.
Nothing ain't gonna work. Question. So Chops, you was just saying something about the difference between the 40s, an old 40 or a relatable 40. So how does it make you feel when you know that you are a relatable 40 something and they still don't connect with you?
Shoot, that pissed me off.
Simply put, huh?
Yeah, because it actually do now with my son. With
That's
my
what I'm
oldest,
saying. Like, so,
It
like,
make
you
me
don't even
mad.
know.
I'm like, you don't even realize
Yeah.
I'm locked into what's going on. So
Yeah.
if anybody knows and understands and give you grace, give you space to make certain decisions, you should be glad that it's me. I could be on the other end and just, rule with an iron fist, and because I don't understand what's going on. But I tell you that all the time about Dylan. Like, I'd be like, you gonna realize you had a really cool daddy when you get older.
Yeah.
You look back,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, dang, he really was. Because everybody around him know,
Yeah.
except him.
See, me, I'm more of the analogy guy. So I try to get the examples and show them. Like, and to show my daughter, just whatever it is, I try to get her to understand. I just find examples that are relatable, but
So
like,
your
so
kids-
look, do you see her daddy? Like, it's
Okay,
like,
okay.
basically, so it could be, I could show her where it could be worse or where it could be, basically.
Mhm.
So now I know your kids, you got different ages. Do they think you're relatable?
My oldest is 29 and the baby will be 20.
Right.
With my kids, I've always been relatable because I'm just an honest parent. I'm not one of them parents who sit up and be like, oh, no. When I grew up, I had a mother, but my mother worked and she was always gone. So I had my granny and her 5 friends, which were the 50-year-olds. So when you say
the old 50s,
the old 50s.
yeah,
So
the
when
old
people
50s.
look at me, they always say, you got all this wisdom. I was raised with older
Old
women.
people. Yeah.
So my thought process is
It's
different.
different, yeah.
So when I talk to my kids, I can be relatable from how I was raised, what I seen, the example shown to me. And then I can be honest with them because I had 5 different representatives in front of me. I had the fast granny who went to church and praised God. I had the I cuss you out, but I'm going to sing them high notes on Sunday. I had the one that was the wife that taught me about being a wife. I had one who was just all of them in one person. So I had all those people to show me different things. So with my kids, it's like I walked through life with them. I never left them. So
Okay.
I ain't gonna say they never did nothing, but the blow is not as hard.
Okay. So a question for you. Having those 5 representations and a couple of them, you said the one that'll cuss you out, the one that was wilding out but still go to church. How did that shape your view of religion or the church?
Well, for me, I was raised in letting people be who they was gonna be. I wasn't raised in a judgment house. Like
Okay.
what I seen is what I seen. So for me, watching it didn't change my mind because when you go in her whole house cursed. And she cursed only in her house. When she left out of her house, she came out and she was different. And then you had the other ones who didn't curse, but they laughed when she cursed. It was just who she was. So it didn't change my view.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of wanted to know because we've talked about situations in religion and the way people act before. So that I know how they thought about it. So I just kind of wanted to know how it affected you coming up, having that kind of duality right there, because you got the angel and the devil kind of basically on the shoulder. So just
like they were sitting next to me, but the one that cursed taught me the realness of life, because being her 100% self taught me that I didn't have to be anything but myself. Because when I was little, I used to struggle with that. So she was the one, when I thought about it, like all of them passed away now. But when I think about, or I'm teaching these girls about authenticity, she'll be the person who's going to come to mind.
okay.
When I'm finna do something stupid, get your up and go in there and do what I told you to do. You got to go in there and do that. Don't be scared. So that's what I would hear in my ears. So no.
She reminded me of one of my grandmother's sisters. I had this aunt. She was my Aunt Edna. She was older than my grandmother. Like, she had been married. She was a Black Panther. She did all of that. But she was like one of the realest people I ever met. And it was crazy. I was at her house one day. She was living in Vegas. And in her room, y'all know how sometimes older people had that one wall where it's just pictures from top to bottom? I mean, literally from top to bottom. So I'm looking at the pictures or whatever, and I see a picture of her husband. Now, her husband died a long time ago. I never met him. He died before my mother even graduated high school. So I took the picture off the wall. I said, "Hey, Anna, this your husband?" She was like, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, he was handsome." She was like, "Mm-hmm." So I was like, now mind, he died a long time ago. It was like 40 years ago. So I said, "Edna, why you ain't never get remarried?" And she looked at me with a straight face, and she was like, "Why the fuck would I do that? I didn't like being married when I was."
That's real. That's real.
When she said that,
I was getting ready to play Why Did I Get Married when I went to bed.
when she said that, at first I was like kind of shocked, but that was like the realest thing I ever heard. She was like, "Why would I go through that again? I didn't like it when I did it the first time." And I was just like, I love this lady.
Yeah. She might have liked it the second time.
Makes sense.
And it's something about getting older, the more or less filter you become anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Your tolerance lowers.
Yeah, I
You've
understand.
earned that, though. I think you've earned that.
I think
at
so,
some
too.
point, at some point.
You learn what? To lower your tolerance?
Yeah, to just be honest and blunt about
No
whatever.
filter.
No
No
filter.
filter.
Yeah.
As you get around them 80-year-olds, they don't care
tired.
about.
They tired of being
Yeah.
reserved.
Oh,
I get
man.
it.
You walk in,
I
your
get
grandma,
it.
you got your partner with you. Damn, you going to keep gaining weight, huh? Damn, what are you talking about? Like, why would you embarrass me like this?
That's how my aunts
grandma
now.
was.
My aunts now, I notice, are getting to that age. Like, they're like, my mom is like 65. So all my aunts around the same age, and they're at that point now where they don't care what they say. Went to brunch, my aunt came, everybody loved her, but my aunt was like, "Oh, you gonna wear that? Why you do that? What's that?" And I'm looking like, you don't even know these people.
Oh, wow. No.
Like, girl, okay.
Man, now to people you don't know, that's wild. I mean, like, in public, you know.
Like, she's never like disrespectful or anything, but if it comes to her mind,
She gonna say
it.
That's wild.
It's gonna come out.
Shoot, because the older you get, the more you realize, man, people's opinion mean absolutely nothing, and you figure, you know what I mean, like to be so. Because we talked about this before. Like, I probably because when I was in the church, always being aware of not offending people.
Oh.
That was like a very, that was a very big thing that I was like groomed in. You got to be careful of what you say, how you say, when you say it, the timing, to where it's like I try to shake it, but I'm still very aware of. It almost dilutes the realness. Like when you just want to say, "Hey, look," but my brain is just so trained to be like, say it, lessen the blow.
See, I think that's the difference when you get older. Like, older people, like, especially like the women and like the men in my family, they're at that age now where they don't care if you're offended.
Exactly.
They don't care
My
at
mama
all.
like that now. It's sickening.
Yeah, like my mom, like I like my mom and understand her better now than I did when I was younger. And I think I like her better now because when I was younger, she used to always try to sugarcoat stuff, or like I didn't know things were as bad as they actually were. Now that I'm older and like she's older, she just flat out tell me, be like, "Girl, hell no, that shit, I ain't got it." You know what I'm saying? And that's how I am with my kids, and they understand it. But like, she's literally like, all of them literally now are at the point where if your feelings hurt, oh well.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah. I I think just the older you get, you respect honesty and transparency. Because when you're younger, you feel like people try to sell you this dream. And a lot of times the glass isn't half full. It's a great mindset to have, but from a realistic standpoint, shit ain't always peachy, man. I had a question for the room. Like with shit not always being peachy. So we all have friends, family. Some may be entrepreneurs, some offer services, some whatever it is that they do. Where do you draw the line for support? And I guess I'll give a little bit more context. You definitely would like to support somebody that you fuck with. However, what if the service or whatever they're offering isn't up to a standard of what you would recommend? How do you handle that?
Hey, it's funny you say that.
I'm so glad he chimed in first.
Hey, man, that. I don't think it's like a one answer type thing, but I'll just say this for me. I've learned that
You just keep the bottle.
I try to, as a regular human being, to be organic in everything that I do. So if you become an entrepreneur and I don't support what you're doing, that should not dictate if I'm cool with you or not. You should know I rock with you.
Now
Dean.
that I agree with.
So if you start selling bath salts and I just don't buy that, you shouldn't feel. To me, we already have established that I rock with you.
Right.
So when I see people get mad over that type of stuff, it kind of rubs. I'm gonna just use as a barber cutting hair. I say it all the time. You ain't gotta let me cut your hair because you my partner. I don't care about this. Is a business. You go if you like the way somebody else do it, go. So for me, I think you got to draw the line of I'm gonna support you when I feel like I'm gonna support you, and if that kind of shifts the balance a certain type of way, then we need to talk about our friendship then, because people get mad. You never come out and support, but I rock with you. I just don't like the waist beats. What I'm gonna do with the waist beats? You know what I'm saying? My bad. About this microphone.
Okay, hold on. You were getting ready to say
think-
something.
I
Shit,
think
I'm sorry.
we kind of like on the same page. Like if you're doing something that I don't have any use for, I'm not finna buy it just cause like if you selling something, I'm not gonna buy it just cause you're my friend and you selling. I'll share it. Somebody might on my timeline might be like, oh, I could use this. But if it's not something that I could use, that doesn't mean that I don't support you. Like even with Will having his fashion line, I bought a couple of shirts. It was some more shirts I liked, but them bitches was high. So I was like,
shout out to William Morris Fashion Galleries.
I love his clothing line.
One of the in-house sponsors.
I loved his clothing line, but I'm also their friend. I'm supporting you.
Shout out to Branded by Chaps.
I'm never going to ask you for it. I'm never going to ask you for a discount.
No.
Never, because to me that's not me supporting you. Like me asking you for a free shirt or for a discount, I'm not supporting you. So I couldn't buy the shirt right now, but it's like I'll get it later. But if you selling something that I have no use for, I share it. I'll probably find somebody else. If you don't like that, then that sounds like a you problem. I don't. Yeah.
That's
what
I get.
That's
That's
not a me problem at all. That's something you have to deal with within yourself. I shouldn't have to buy your product just because you're my friend.
Exactly. And if I don't buy your product, that don't mean it's a slight.
Yeah.
I agree with that. No Face, what would you say?
I don't know if there's a defining moment. If I have a friend that's selling a product that I don't use, as they launch something, would I support? Absolutely. Would I continue to do so thereafter for something that I don't buy?
So you're kicking in for the startup?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If they are providing a service, caterer or something. And if it's not up to par with my friend, I'm gonna tell you, I'm like, look, you're not doing what you need to do. So if it's my friend, my partner like that, I'm gonna let you know this is why I'm not booking you. And they can take that as they may. Hopefully I would.
And my new shit for 2024 is don't take it personal. Take note of it. Take care of it.
I heard that too many times this week. With real friendships, I would have a conversation about a service that is lacking. You gonna fix it, okay, and I'm gonna support you. If not, then I'm gonna move along and let you continue to try to figure it out. So I think it's just it all depends.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna support no bullshit.
Okay. Tay.
Well, for me, like she said on the startup, I'm that friend who supports my friends.
Yeah.
Now, depending on where you at on the friendship line, like my real friends, whatever they do, I'm gonna come out and make sure I support at least one time.
Okay.
The people who I consider the closest to me probably and been in my life. So I usually am a great support system.
Okay.
What I am not is somebody who, if you're doing something that I don't consider as something that I'm with, I'll have that conversation because it's a respect thing, you know. I do care about how people feel,
Okay.
but I'm usually just honest enough to be like, hey, you know, you my friend. You know, I support everything else. I can't support this. And if they have a problem with it, that's not my problem. I'm just an honest friend. So,
Right.
I'm gonna be real too. Oh my bad.
Yeah, but I'll answer.
Yeah, my fault.
No, you good. You good. Remember where you were too. You remember what you was gonna say. Me, I'm kind of a mixture of what everybody says. However, I've seen support where there shouldn't be. I mean, if the product is not up to a certain standard. So, like me personally, my support differs, but it's never based on the friendship. It's always based on the quality of whatever that you offer.
That's how it
So,
should be.
I mean, even you said, I mean, I share it, but I can't share everything because people sometimes really take my word for something. So it's like you can't always promote some shit that you don't
So
that isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Or like some people will just support and not even know if it's good enough. Like I was pissed when I made the post the other day about something for my beard. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, hey, let me know. We need to talk too. Because everybody want to get on there and suggest they friends. I'm like, y'all fuck all that. I don't. I need something that's proven. I've spent enough money.
I don't have a beard, so I ain't comment on it.
Well, not that. But I'm just saying, if you say somebody's selling, I got a boutique and they got all bullshit, you know, and you can share it, but like it's a certain standard or quality that I feel comfortable recommending. And I'm uncomfortable a lot of times because I'm like, I fuck with you, but you're not there yet because it's got to be something that I would. I mean, it's just like if a star is a brand ambassador, are you just doing this for the money, or are you a person with integrity? Like, I don't really fuck with that, so I can't really fuck with that on this level. That don't mean that I don't support you and don't want you to do well. Well, first of all, I'm fortunate enough to have friends that do shit on the quality level to a certain extent. So it's more so me on the outside looking in because everybody is always suggesting bullshit. And me being a person that is always reading the room, I would know where to send
Who to?
There we go. You feel what I'm saying? And it just is, I hate combing through bullshit. So reading the room, I would hope that people would know me enough to know, like, don't bring me no bullshit. But it always happens, and it's frustrating.
This the biggest problem too. I ain't rich, and everybody in their mama selling something, doing something, and I can't afford to buy. If I support it, I'm talking about people that I rock with.
Yeah,
I can't afford. It's just too much financially to be like, man. Everybody's doing something, which is great. That's why, like me and my wife, like. All the business we got is literally based on we gonna get it out the mud and do it ourselves. We not looking for people we know to support it because we confident in what we do. Somebody's gonna come. So we don't try not to put people in the box like even like, you know, when you come over for a cut or whatever, it ain't like, oh my God, he got to. When he come, I get him right. It's literally like not a big deal. So even like with the beard
you
stuff,
said these clippers too.
with me and my with my beard, somebody is always chops. I got this beard cream, chops. I ain't got time to be sifting through 18. Like when you come over, what do I tell you? I say, hey, this is what I use. Even my clients, this will work for me. This is what I do. I'm not saying it'll work for you, but I think this. But
at least it's something that you use.
Yeah. I don't never suggest nothing that I don't use at all. Like when people come over, they got skin issues. I'm like, look, all I know is, bro, I started using this.
So when he made the post about his beard, I have a friend that has like his own line. He's a barber. He has Remind Gibbs, but I didn't suggest it because two reasons. I don't have a beard, and the second reason is I know he has quality products. I know that he uses he uses them on himself. I don't know anybody else that's used them.
Right.
So I can't be like, oh no, everybody says it's good because I don't know that. I know he used it, but it works for him. I don't know that would work for him, and then I don't have what I look like. Oh, this some good beer. You know, what am I putting it on? Like I don't know. That's why I was like, yeah. See, this not the post for me. This not my post. This not for me to comment on.
And it was a lot of women too that told me. I'm like,
I mean, but in their defense, maybe their guy has a beard. Maybe his beard is luscious. I would be like, well, my guy uses.
now they be like, this is my partner. They gonna get you right.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Did you see some of the comments?
Hey, look, I'm gonna say this real quick.
The post wasn't for me.
I'm gonna say this real quick. I ain't gonna go too deep of a dive, but see, people don't understand this beard game. It depends on your texture of your hair, how your hair responds. Like I can't use oil on my beard at all. Okay. So it just you can't. It's not a one trick pony.
But see,
a lot of people that come, they just think like. Okay,
this works for everybody.
Yeah, and I'm like, nah, and then I hate to say it, and this is not you at all, but like most guys, they don't even take care of their beard. I wash and shampoo my beard twice a week.
So
they don't even
I do it every day in the shower.
And that's why the women know.
Crunchy, like what do you
It doesn't, but it's
do?
not. It doesn't look the way I want it to. You know, I like shit a certain way.
But
so.
that's
you
why
want
the
it to be
women
shiny?
know.
Not necessarily
I
shiny,
think that's
but
the question that you need to incorporate that into like what do you need to do?
most shit dries it out. I mean, it may not look dry now, but I think it's extremely
You're
dry.
gonna look crusty.
Yeah.
And that's what I was gonna say too. Like the oil, some dudes like their beard to look like they just hopped out the bathtub.
Help me out.
The sheen on it.
Excuse
But
me.
I think like
I don't like
even with not having a beard, I think that's one of the things. Like even with our hair, different products work differently on different people. I think it's one of the things where it's literally just trial and error. You have to find what works for you.
Yeah, and then you got some, and then coming back with you, like men are very stubborn. Okay, so as y'all can see, I use enhancements in my haircut and my beard. I think it looks great. Some dudes,
I was sure thinking like, man, this line
it's
is
crisp.
extra crispy.
And so I try to tell people
Tell me
that.
why. I was just like, in my mind, I was like, Chops was lining himself up every day.
Well, every day,
Every day.
Yeah. But it's little tricks that you can do for a certain look, and then you got some people on the spectrum, old school. I don't want nothing fake. All right, I'm gonna use it because it's gonna look great on me. And then some people have jumped over and be like, you know what? I see every time I see your beard, like it's just look. It's a thing I use called a beard marker. So I already have a full beard, but the marker it takes out any gap.
Like,
so
like
it looks.
my brows.
You know what?
Yeah,
It's,
and so
it's exactly what it
Where
is.
my beard marker? It was in the window. You moved it.
Yeah,
He moved my
so
beard
I
marker.
just had a conversation with my brother about that. He'd be like, "Man, your beard look crisp." I said, "Yeah," because I line it and then I just use this little bitty. It don't even a lot. You just and then you brush it in, and then like my lining, like women use mascara. They got it's called a barber pencil. So I use a shade lighter than my skin around my lining, and then I line it, and it just make it pop more. Yeah. And so some people have jumped on the train, and they like, yeah. Then some people like, I said, it's called an enhancement for a reason.
That's the thing though. She like what she said. You do a good job. Niggas, they shit don't look natural.
No natural.
That be the problem. Niggas shit don't look right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's this one man. I'm not gonna call him out.
Because I ain't got time to be bleeping. Oh,
but
shit.
we just gonna say that he is literally that man when he sweat.
It's
I
like
ain't
50
bleeping.
Yeah, see, they ain't doing that stuff.
I'm
right.
like, bruh, just let it go.
Hey, look, I got a client right now. I have to dye his beard basically every week. He in his 50s.
He don't want
Gray. He don't want no gray. So I gotta sit.
Salt and pepper.
I try to tell
See,
him.
that's what I was just telling her earlier.
Yeah, he ain't.
I think
crazy.
Will shit looks too fake. He need to let it go on with the salt and pepper. I think it'll work for Will.
It will.
But then she was saying something with his lining. I think Will would look good with a
on
beard
Will
and a bob.
Smith.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't say just Will. I'm sorry, Will Smith.
Oh, I thought you was okay.
No, I ain't talking about my nigga. Hey, he probably listening right now like, damn, my nigga. No, not Will.
In my mind, I was like,
I thought that's Damon. That's Damon John.
Okay.
You talking
Shout
about
out to
Will
Everybody
Smith?
calm down.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
I apologize.
I think Will Smith needs to just go ahead and go great. Like I feel like
That's what I said.
don't, bruh. And he looks very good to be 50, whatever he is. Just be that.
Yeah.
Be that. Be who. Be the age you are.
Like we're watching the show on Apple TV, but what's the guy? The white guy?
Steve Carell.
And he's
40-year-old
all gray
virgin.
and looks
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Like
with the gray,
he looked
it
more
just-
handsome with
he
it.
does.
Yeah.
You know, like 40-year-old
Yes.
virgin, he just looked kind of
Mature.
goofy. But now he
Hey,
kind
yeah, I
of
think David Allen Greer. I think he looked nice with that
yeah,
big.
yes,
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
just like, and it's like it's so funny me being a barber, especially older people. I'm gonna say 35 and older. How I be telling you this. I'm like, man, if y'all would just listen to me,
Yeah,
because I can see you from the outside looking in, but they be so stuck on.
yeah.
And it be wrong though. I was like, bro, like I told you, the one dude I cut his hair. I say, man, he would just get like a horrible haircut. So he started coming to me. He like, man, my wife won't leave me alone. A month later, cut it off. Bro, what are you doing? You literally said your wife likes this. Why? Because he was so used to, he wanted to go back to what he was comfortable with. Like, I say, that is crazy. I'm like, you got the haircut that your wife like, and he had to stick to, you know how like some men get the I call it the military low. It don't really have a like, I say, bro, all right. But look, I'm the type of person, you paying me. So
I
whatever
feel like,
you want,
I feel
you
like
get it.
especially with men, because I do 100% believe that a lot of men, the majority of the men, y'all really get better with age.
Yeah, I do.
So you got like a little gray in there? Okay,
yeah,
let it be
just
gray.
let it be, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, embrace getting older, wiser. Just because you're getting older don't mean you look old.
And then, like you said, and it looks nice, like
When you got all that fake stuff in there,
Yeah,
especially if you got too much, we could tell.
Yeah, I can tell.
And we're making fun of you.
What
We're
they call
laughing
it,
at
That's
you.
what they don't
Beijing.
get. That's what they don't
We're
understand.
laughing at you. Like, your hairline is a little too crisp. Or you go wipe some sweat and now your hairline got a dent in it.
It's running down your face.
Yeah, it's running down your face. Like, bro, we laughing at you. We don't think you look good. Be your age. You going bald? Just cut it off. Or get a
Please
man
cut
unit.
it off.
Stop trying to spray paint it on.
Yeah.
Just cut it off.
Hey, I have to do all
that.
that.
Units.
Hey.
We're gonna shave it off.
Hey, no,
I'm gonna give me a man
He
unit.
ain't gonna listen.
What that
Hey, my
nigga?
client
That
got
was
man
Kevin.
unit.
What was it? Cat Williams.
I've
It's
seen
a
it.
man
I
unit.
know some look great,
Yeah.
but I would prefer my guy to just be bald. I don't want my guy to have man units.
Look, I'm trying to get. Hey, look, I'm trying to get paid. You know, we know how to
As long
do
as I
the.
know him.
Yes.
I've never known him with hair.
Need a man unit come see chops. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. No, I'm learning how to do that. You can make some
You can
money,
make a lot of
man. I
money.
can give them the waves and all. Wait till I.
Like,
oh,
my
man.
partner that do him now. He
Next
could
year for
do-
my birthday, we
He
learn how
may
to do
only
it.
do like 2 a week. He
Yeah.
may do like 2. He make like 350, 400
Yeah.
off a unit.
Easy,
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah, it's just like them
easy.
wigs.
Yeah.
Hey,
Exactly.
But I think, like you said, like I'm glad that we have more of you all than us. Okay,
yeah.
so
I kind of wanted to shift it up today.
yeah, so the conversation me and Jonas has a lot is guys our age. How can I phrase this? They don't really see themselves for who they are, and so what they project, you all see straight through it, but for some reason, I don't know if I'm wording it right. So help me out. Oh, my
Oh,
bad.
you mean like when they project looking a mess in them skinny jeans?
It can be anything. Yeah, like how some
Yes.
older people, they were the man.
They don't know how to
part.
grow up.
Yeah, but in their head though, they really think they doing something, and we like, but y'all can't read the response y'all getting from the women. So I want to hear from you all, the age group that you all are in. What's your opinions of men in their 40s, late 30s, and older? I'm gonna use this term, that just haven't grown up, like they still trying to chase that young spark of their youth.
I don't think. How I say this now?
Just say it. Look,
I don't think they're dressing for us. I think they're dressing trying to stay young. I think they're dressing for the little girls. I don't think they're dressing for grown women. Because a grown woman, in my opinion, if y'all agree, a grown woman, I don't want to see your underwear. I don't want your pants fitting tighter than mine. I don't want you tucking in your shirt just so I can see your belt buckle.
That's so corny.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about all
I
of
never
that.
did that.
I want look nice, look clean, look presentable, But I don't care what kind of. I don't give a fuck if you got on purple shit. Who is purple? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't care about that. We're looking at how do you look? How are you presenting yourself? I don't want to see your underwear. I don't want to see you in these bedazzled ass jeans. These bedazzled
Niggas
shoes.
got the party pockets.
These
Party pocket
bedazzled
ass niggas.
shoes. You trying to tuck your shirt in so I can see your Gucci belt. I don't care. We don't.
The belts be
Grown
fake,
women.
too.
We don't care about none of that. Like, you could walk into a room and you could have on a nice suit, and that suit may be the most expensive thing in the room, but you're not calling attention to yourself. You just confident and you know you look nice. It's the nigga that come in that got on 30 chains and
He got
all these big fake
bunch of
watches.
logos.
Yeah.
Man,
You
we
big
know a
earrings
gang
down
of
to
dudes
the
like
sides.
that.
I guarantee you, none of us, even if Q was single, I guarantee you, none of us are going to be moved by that. We making fun of you like, this nigga look a whole mess.
And they be standing on couches with bottles, and I'll be looking at
That's
them
weird.
like,
I be like, bro, you 50.
y'all 46.
Yeah, don't
Leave that for the
If
26
I buy a
year old.
bottle, just hand that motherfucker to me like we doing a drug deal. I don't want no fucking attention. I'm trying to get drunk.
Like my other group of friends, my other group of friends, like my brothers, they all very low key. They wear their jeans, they Levi's, like whatever kind of jeans they wear. They got on their polo shirts, they wear their J's. They look they age.
Yeah.
They, you know what I'm saying? Like, these look like some grown casual men. Ain't nobody walking in there trying to show off this fake Gucci belt. Nobody's doing that.
But do they got the hoes?
Some of them do, but they not trying to appease little girls.
Yeah.
Little girls is, to me, no disrespect, them the only people that's gonna be attracted to them. Because why now they think you got money and you probably broke as shit.
The weird thing about the girls that like men with money, they never get the nigga to spend it on them. Like, you dumb bitch, what are you doing? You fuck with a nigga who got money, he's doing absolutely nothing for you. You've lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pointless.
But some of them only have, I think women need to know the difference between right now money and real money. It's a difference.
But they don't know the
They got
difference.
this nigga that's in the club buying all the bottles. That's right now money.
Facts.
But then when he died, your family selling fish plates and barbecue plates and shit.
I never understood
that's
why
right
I
now
gotta
money.
spend money to prove to you
Right
that
now
I have
money.
money. No.
The
thanks.
right now money and real money is different. Do you have a 401k? Do you have a real bank account instead of a Cash App card?
Or a
Or
child.
is all your money just stuffed
Brush
in your
card.
pocket? You walking around the club
Because you
with
ain't got no
you
type
walking
of
around the
account.
club with $3,000, but you have absolutely no bank account. But it's this dude over here sitting in the corner in his polos and in his polo shirt and his J's got $100,000 in the bank because he's not wearing it.
Yeah.
So do you all like flashy or not flashy?
Absolutely.
Not flashy.
No flashy.
None of them like
Okay.
flashy.
No.
Okay.
I can tell you right now.
What's your definition of flashy? We
Doing
know
too much.
We know 30 chains and all that.
Doing too
but-
much.
Okay.
I would say. Flashy is just doing too much. Flashy, well, I know you asked the women, I'm sorry. But
He got something to say.
Flashy is
Flashy is
wherever
calling
it
for
is.
attention.
Yeah, wherever
Yeah.
it's not season, like, oh, here this nigga come.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Flat, like you have to
You
be
know,
the
like-
loudest one in the room or
Yeah.
like all of that. I don't mind you being popular or people. It's a difference between people knowing you and people knowing of you.
Yeah.
Everybody don't need to know you.
Okay.
But if they know of you, they know your name, they put respect on your name, that's one thing. But if you walk in the club and the DJ like, yeah, my boy so-and-so, bro, I'm good.
He do the humble.
Yes. I'm good.
Yeah.
I was telling her how niggas be, you know, being a DJ. They send people to tell me to announce that they in the building. And then act like I called them out. They be
it's
looking
a
like,
surprise.
oh, who me? Oh my God, I hate niggas like that. Y'all corny. Stop that, please.
Surprise.
That's how or they'd be wanting bottles like they would come prepay for the bottle. This used to happen at Shade. They would prepay for the bottle.
Okay.
We to ask them what time they want us to bring the bottle out. They
So they
tell
gonna
us.
wait till the people there?
We bring the bottle out. They acting surprised. Oh, y'all bought me a bottle. No, nigga, you bought
This
the
is
bottle.
corny.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Very,
What are you talking
very,
about? You bought it.
very corny.
I know a few
Like,
of those.
what are you doing?
That's terrible.
Because me and him, we
I
talk
know
about
a
it's an
few of those.
epidemic here. Because we feel like a lot of men here that I call it the scene that just be out, you know, clubbing and stuff. I'm like, man, they are the biggest dang, I just lost the word. What's the word, bro? We said they're the biggest.
Fakers.
No,
Lames.
how they always like how like the women be after the celebrities, but they're like that now. The guys are like
the biggest groupies.
Groupies, man. There's so many male groupies.
Yeah, it's a lot of okay.
Oh my God, it's
I
an
know a few of
epidemic
those.
of just like anybody. Like if y'all look at what's going on, I've never seen men attach themselves to every latest whatever it is. I say, man, what happened to the? You sit back and.
I don't know, man. It's weird. I think we are like me, you, a couple other guys we know, kind of like last of a dying breed. Everybody is so docile and easy to influence, and it's kind of weird that a lot of adults in our age range are influenced by people that they could be parents to.
Yeah, that's not a man thing. That's not just a man thing, though. That's a woman thing, too.
Yeah, a bunch of followers.
Yeah.
See, I'm not groupthink, so motherfuckers gonna always think I'm crazy because I'm looking at everybody like, you fucking sicko. Like, so I'm I don't know, I'm the gray sheep. I ain't gonna say black because people do fuck with me, but they know that I don't fuck with the way that they think. You know, the black sheep don't nobody fuck with. But I had the mentality of the black sheep, but
because we do
the relatability and acceptability of the opposite. So, but it's very weird though.
Well, speaking of psycho, I
shit.
saw you on stage singing.
I seen that video so many times.
Oh yeah, support. No more favors there.
What happened with that? I'm just curious.
I did a favor. I mean, you know, it was one and done. I was trying to help my partner.
Okay.
That's it. So that wasn't the support conversation I was having. But
the funny thing, since we know you, when you was up there singing, I already kind of knew.
Yeah, I was like,
The attitude behind it.
I was like, come on, man, y'all need to start.
Yeah, that's what made it so funny.
The thoughts.
Yeah,
I was literally like, I'm watching, I'm watching it on my phone.
I'm counting down. Like,
see
come
him
on, this
with the
third
microphone.
verse.
I see him with the microphone, and I knew he wasn't really into it because he just walked. He was just pacing the stage.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to get through this song.
Yeah.
Look,
But I mean, I think pacing the stage was a lot because I could have just stood there. I was
You
just trying
did
to,
for a second. You did.
Yeah, but I'm not. I realized I really do not like attention. Yeah, I don't miss doing that shit at all.
Yeah, you can tell when you was up there.
I hate attention.
It was very,
you know what I mean?
So look, right? Okay, so whenever I do get married,
That's cool.
you could just sing from the piano. You don't have to stand
of course. Yeah, that's cool.
When you do though, he gonna walk up here and gonna say, "Hey, how you doing?"
So, hey, listen, I told her that too. I hit the family group chat. I was like, yeah, I know I don't have no like pre-talk. Because I don't like being fake. So, you know, I asked about your experiences and how they shaped your view of church. So just like coming up in church and seeing those people that were maybe not so churchy, but get to church and they super churchy, it kind of fucked me up and kind of, you know, made me shy away from the church. But then, you know, you got the biggest whore ever get up there. Hey. She got the greatest speech. I mean, I'd like to give it honor to God, who is the head of my life. Come on, saints, and I'm like,
you was giving head last
night. You still got something in the corner of your mouth. Yeah,
She probably prayed over it first. She prayed over it first.
Bless this motherfucker,
baby. Wash your mouth off. And you got the microphone. You still. Let me shut up.
Hey, but yeah, so I don't have that. I just feel like
Saints.
See, that's what I'm saying. But I feel like that's fake, so I can't go up there. Good morning, saints, and all that. I'm just like, hey, doc, and I hit it because, but it's just the same when I DJ. Yeah. I just let my talent speak for itself. Yeah, I'm like, you gonna fuck with what I do?
Hey man, something you know,
nothing.
Something.
I ain't gonna hold y'all.
He walks up and starts singing.
Look, when I do,
and then walk off.
But look, when I do get married, though, you know me. Say something.
No, I got you. Oh, you want me to say something before I sing?
You can just be like, hey, you know this. This my homegirl, baby.
Okay, that's if you request that, I got you.
Hey, listen.
You shouldn't
act like you know me. Don't look like you just paid stranger, okay? Act like you know me.
He don't even know this, but he's so real. When he sung at my mama's funeral, It was like, hey, Chops, you know I'm doing this for you. My heart is with you, but I'm finna sing, and that's it.
He said nothing at my daddy funeral.
Yeah.
I just started singing.
So Chops, he walked up and just started singing. And
It sat right back down. I was like, he went straight. He did exactly.
No prayers and condolences.
Yeah.
I mean,
he sung his
because
song.
if it's a family and I not really giving them that, I'm I don't like attention.
I say, bro is holy.
I hate attention. Like, don't put it on me. Pause.
I'm not gonna lie. He sung 2 songs at my daddy's funeral. Now I will say the preacher did introduce him, so he didn't have to introduce him. He sang that first song. The song was over. He went back and sat down. That was it. Second song, he sang the second song. He went back, sat down. Funeral was over. He was gone.
The most recent funeral we came to it was a little unorthodox. So there was no introduction. So the guy before him just gave like a whole concert.
Oh man, this nigga was tripping. Uncle Clifford.
No one knows what's going on. Jonas walks up and literally just starts singing. Like it's nothing. No
it's
introduction.
Like that. This is like straight in, straight out, pause. Hey, I say I might look like a psycho, but I don't like all that. Just the least amount of time that I can have with attention on me, you know.
If you tell him 45 seconds, that man gonna give you 45 seconds. And that last second, he gonna be walking to his
That's
seat.
me.
He gonna be in the seat.
He not playing.
Y'all don't understand how I hate attention. And after that, I got, thank you. And then,
when we were away on vacation, so we went to karaoke night. And he did a John Legend song or whatever.
I did that for you, baby.
So he killed it, of course. So the next day in the pool, white guy comes up. He was like, "This is John Legend." John Legend. Again, he walks up, starts singing, and walks off.
I ain't got nothing to say, man.
Very weird, but
I'm straight to the point.
It's the same at karaoke. Even when he introduced people, he introduced somebody. Use Taser. Yeah, I got Tay coming to the microphone.
Yeah, that's it. Now most people just call their name. I heard people like EJ. Remember, I still got my. I think with that part I do decent, but I don't say a lot of shit unless I'm drunk and it's something funny. Now something funny happened, then I'm gonna talk because that's natural. I didn't force it. I didn't rehearse it. It's like oh man, they might be singing SWV, but I might call them DMV or anything. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like salt and pepper. I might call them flour and sugar.
Like when Cricket sang that song and Bobby sang the whole song for her.
Oh man, I was like, she didn't know any of the words.
Well, I tell y'all that day was funny as hell.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I had to do the eulogy at my aunt's funeral, and man, people speaking of just weird stuff. So this lady get up there, you tell people to, you get 2 minutes to say, your condolences or whatever. So she like, it was real sad too, like reading the room. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of a somber atmosphere. So she got up there, she was like, yeah, she was my friend, talking about my aunt or whatever, or maybe my cousin, whoever. I don't mean it like that, but whoever.
I got you.
And she was like, I'm getting ready to play her favorite song. So the mood is somber. She started playing Candy Girl by New Edition. It starts like Candy Girl.
No.
Like, what? And she sung the whole song. Like, she didn't read the room to realize, hey, this is not the.
Why did nobody turn off her microphone?
I know, it was my job to do it. And I was just sitting there like, you gotta be
embarrassed for her.
Yeah, that was the crazy. I'm thinking she finna get up there and make you cry. She starts singing Candy Girl.
Fooled you.
And then she pulled it up on YouTube on her phone.
Oh, did she have the commercial?
Yeah, man. My bad.
Did she do the dances?
She was like snapping, trying to be upbeat. I say, man, people do not know.
Out of everything you said, the commercial was the worst part.
Yeah, man.
That pisses me off. Oh my god. Yeah.
Crazy.
Y'all recorded.
Hey man.
Yeah, but the more I'm getting to know you, the more I'm realizing that too. Like, hey, this man,
I'm business.
He gonna do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're gonna do what you're supposed to do, and look. And if you need something extra, you're gonna have to hey, bro, you think you can?
Let me know, and I got you.
Yeah, you got you.
Yeah, but
okay.
I'm never gonna overstep. I do what
Yeah.
I'm requested. You know what I mean? Some motherfuckers always like that dude she was talking about. That nigga did a mini concert. And then he did 3 after the service. You know how you do when everybody do the pardon view, and we still outside. Everybody greeting each other. He's still in there going up beyond. I'm like, nigga, would you shut up? I knew that nigga was gonna get busy. He had a roll-on carry-on bag with the wheels on it. Came in the church with that. He should have. Man, he was crazy. Definitely, he was Uncle Clifford. I'm gonna tell you, that's who he was. Yeah, he was Uncle Clifford.
Okay, wait. So that brings me to a question, and it also brings me to one thing we said, a topic we was gonna talk about. Do you think that like you don't talk or like say anything really? Could that be a part of anxiety, or you just don't do it?
Well, yeah, it can contribute to anxiety. That's why I was going to close anyway. You're right on time.
Anxiety from what though? Would you say?
Because I don't like the attention. I hate it.
How does it make you feel? Look, I don't even know.
It makes me feel overwhelmed.
It
makes me feel overwhelmed. I don't like everybody looking at me. Probably because I'm super judgmental, so I assume everybody else is.
Okay.
So, or I'm judgmental. I'm realistic, so I can say that.
We are.
I'm a nigga that make fun of everything.
No, but I remember.
So I just don't want to be the butt of the joke. That's all.
Remember the last time we was all at 2.0, we were talking about anxiety. And stuff. And I said that I think this is something that more men need to talk about because I think more men probably suffer from it. Anxiety. Either don't know what it is or
don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like some form of anxiety.
It took me a long time to learn how to deal with anxiety. I probably I've had it, anxiety and panic attacks for like 17 years, but it took years to understand what it was and how to try to get through it. A lot of times I'm successful, but sometimes I'm not. Like last week I almost had, like we talked about that, and then the following Tuesday I had a bunch of anxiety and a lightweight panic attack when I was working on Tuesday. Just some family shit that kind of, it was overwhelming, but I don't mind talking about it because if I could help somebody, like I remember him calling me last year at this time, but I was over there and we were talking about your episode of your panic episode, and I told you about mine and how I've been dealing with it and just ways to look at it, but maybe a lot of men do deal with anxiety and don't know what it is.
Yeah. Like what does it stem from? Like what?
Different things. Being overwhelmed, feeling like, so I'm a, what do I want to say? I'm a what? I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist, but I have an idea of how I want what to go. And when I'm out of options and out of ideas and I don't see the foreseeable future, or I'm a problem solver, so when I feel like the problem is beyond me solving, that becomes overwhelming for me personally. Now when it started, it didn't start with that. The feeling just came over me randomly. That's why it was so long for me to identify it, because it wasn't anything that triggered it per se. Later on I figured out the triggers and the kind of way to remedy it, to speak.
I think for me, like my mom dying, I believe it triggered something that was already in me. And then talking to Cece, she opened my eyes to how much I operate in anxiety, and I don't even realize it. I've learned now a similar, like with my mom, like candy. That's a result of anxiety. So like if I get real bad anxiety, I didn't realize that's what it was. I need some hot tamales. I need something. I gotta have it though, but it's not like man, I had a toothache yesterday because I was eating so much of it, but it was like anxiety. Like I just gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Me personally, I use distractions.
So I think that's, so it's like, so I'm just now realizing, dang, when I just really want some candy, it is when I mean, it's not chocolate, it has to be candy. Like how we be eating hot tamales, Laffy Taffies, any type of candy like that. I just be craving it, and it's like, okay, that's just anxiety.
More so your comfort food.
Yeah, so because something's going on. Like it's so funny. This morning, the same, I had my episode last year. It happened this morning. Oh wow! But I stopped it. I was asleep.
Good time.
Then I woke up. like an hour or something. I said, I felt it. So I had to, since I was able to at least identify it, I was able to like walk myself back. Yeah. If that make any sense.
Kind of calm yourself down because now you have an idea of what it was.
Yeah, so there was no fear this time. Like last year, it never happened to me, so I was scared. Like I ain't never felt like this, but this morning, I was like, okay, I know exactly what it is.
He good. So, it took me a long time to figure out.
But it goes back to what you saying. I had a conversation with you. We talked about it on the episode. So I just can only imagine had I not talked about it to anybody, I may not have even been able to deal with it to even know that that's what it was. I'm sure I wouldn't have, to be honest, because normally I think a lot of men do this. We'll just shrug it off. Like
that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Like I think a lot of men probably deal with some form of it and just shrug it off. Yeah. Like I think, and I don't know if it's like a societal thing, but I feel like, especially like in the African American community, we be dealing with stuff, or we have a lot of like traumatic things that go on, and our mind frame is life go on, or it'll be alright. Like we don't really deal with it, and I think like black women, we deal with a lot too. You know what I'm saying? But I think black men deal with just as much. However, we'll try to go get help, or we'll like go talk to our girlfriends, or aunt, mother, or something. Y'all don't really talk to nobody. So it's like y'all keeping it all on the inside, and then it be something that happened and like you have a panic attack, or you just break down and you crying or whatever. You have no idea why you crying, or you have no idea like why you so angry.
Yeah. Before you say something, I'm gonna say I just figured out what it was too. I'm gonna just share this with y'all.
Let's go.
So my mom just died. My dad is pushing 80, and so it's crazy. Like he been falling lately. So he fell, knee was swollen, had a brace. So I was like, let me go over there and check on him. And so when I seen my dad, I was like, every time I see him, he look older.
And weaker and weaker.
Yeah, exactly. He looked frailer.
Yeah.
And my dad is old school, so he always gonna act like it's
he gonna put on.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like now, with my mom suddenly dying, I look at everything more serious now. Like, he fine, but at the same time, I'm like, I told Candace, and I say, man, I ain't never seen my daddy look this frail, this vulnerable, this. So it's been bothering me. So I can tell, just connecting the dots, I feel like that was a big trigger of this morning, because in the back of my mind, it's like, dang, I've been thinking about it like, my daddy could. He ain't gonna be here for another 30 years. You get what I'm saying?
I went through that when my daddy died, and I think it's one of those things where life kind of gave you a reality check that they not gonna be here forever. Yeah. Like when my daddy died, I started looking at my mama like, dang, like she be limping, or she go up, like me and my sister were talking about how she go up all these steps, or like she has 2 dogs, and we be like, damn, that dog gone. Drag her down the steps one of these days. Like, really get that reality check. Like, damn, like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? She's not going to be here forever in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to just jump in there real quick because...
I was coming to you anyway. I'm sorry. Let's go. We have a licensed therapist. That's why I want you to come, because we're going to talk about anxiety.
You know, it's a lot. Like, I talk to men every day. You know, I even created the Black Men group to talk to them and give them something, you know. And I didn't tell them what I did prior. I just kind of see they got a problem, inbox them, talk to them. If I get them on a phone or a video call, after I've talked to them enough and I've built the trust, then I'll let them know what's going on with me.
Yeah.
But a lot of men that deal with a lot of anxiety, it goes all the way back to being a kid. My biggest factor with men, most of the anxiety came from the mother, where the men could never express themselves. And if they deal with a mate that are acting as the parent, a lot of times those are the people they're going to pick, even though that's probably the worst thing to do. If you have a mother that cusses you out, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a woman that cuss you out. So it builds anxiety. And I wrote a stat the other day. I said, what if it was that you needed this chaos? People don't realize that if you never fix the trigger, the chaos always exists.
We talked about that
So,
in the beginning.
Yeah, you really have to find out where the trigger started at. I tell a lot of people that stand in front of me, I see the little kid in you, and we deal backwards to find exactly where the trigger started, and that's how you break it. That's how you heal. Because if not, it's gonna be an ongoing cycle. The good thing for you is that you found your trigger, and you kind of in front of it.
Yeah.
And the anxiety and the fear of death, that's just real.
Yeah.
But the good thing about dealing when you feel like you have anxiety is allow your body to go through it.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, don't try and fight it off, because what you're doing is that's when you're setting yourself up for heart attacks and stroke. People don't realize that inward stress. And me, I'm not a person who stress out loud. My stress will be on the inside.
On the inside, yeah.
And then my body will just shut down on me.
So listen to what you're saying. It's so real, because a lot of men, I can't speak for outside of the black community. Like I said, I was blessed. My daddy, my whole life, I've always had a father. But my father wasn't the vulnerable father. So I didn't learn how to be vulnerable with my emotions. I learned you just, like a backpack, you just put more in your backpack and you just keep it moving. And as I see my dad getting older, the signs are there like, bro, you need help now. But he's still kind of more, I'm okay. Like he fell this time before the last time and hit the back of his head. He was like, I'm okay. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think because even me as a father, as a husband, I don't know what's a trick in your mind. You don't want your family to see you as if you need help. You want to be perceived as the help.
Well, that too comes from how you raised. If you've never had a father that had conversations with you, if you never had a mother, if you just had a mother who, if you fall, get your ass up, instead of cradling you at any time because they wanted you to just be hard.
Yeah.
You don't know how to be that. So where'd your example start?
Right. It starts at home.
Yeah. So most of the time you're unpacking that as you become an adult because you don't want that cycle to hop over on your kids. But it's because they've never learned it.
Now watch what I'm gonna just add this. I don't want to take over the whole conversation. But what you're saying is so deep, because now me at 43, and I know a few people like this, because we never learned how to deal with it, I'm afraid. Because I don't have any experience dealing with it as a kid. Like you said, when you're young, your parent can teach you how to deal with emotions and fear and vulnerability. But now I'm like, remember we talked about this with my mom, Dad. I was like, I don't want to deal with this because I don't know.
But remember I told you, I said you have to.
Yeah, but the fear was like, I don't know how I'm going to respond to this. So I'm afraid. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of men deal with that. It's like, you could take marriage, a parent, just being a black man. It's like, this is something new. This is new territory for me. So I'm going to just say for me, and maybe he's the same, I come from a background of you got to protect yourself. It's snakes out here. It's people trying to kill you. It's all. So I definitely am just extra cautious with trust. And I believe this, learning how to trust myself, because you just said something that was heavy. I have to trust myself that I can go through this and be okay. So like when I had the panic attack this morning, I had to tell myself like, you're going to be all right. Just calm down. Take some, you know what I mean? But like last year, I didn't know. Look, I thought I was going to go crazy. Like,
you had a little experience in it, so this time you knew how to deal with it a little better. That's all.
And I say that's great, because second time around, you figured it out. And a lot of people, like we say, men not knowing what the anxiety is and trying to figure it out, that could be a long process. And then you have the process of trying to figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah. But, and while I'm dealing with this, I got kids to take care of. I got a wife. I got a family. And so I'm trying to navigate to figure this part out, but they got a need over here. So you like, well, let me put me.
That's what I was saying. That's going back to what I was saying. Like, we kind of tend to do it like, I don't have time to deal with this right now. And you keep telling yourself, I don't have time. And then it'd be like that one little thing where you lose it. Like, I did that, like, with my dad. Like, I kept on saying, like, oh, I'll be all right. We'll be okay. And it took me having to go through something that had nothing at all to do with my daddy for me to actually realize, like, I need help.
Yeah.
Like it's something I'm not dealing with this. I was dealing with everything else, trying to take my mind off of it.
Just
And
kept
when it was
going.
just stuck, it was still like stuck in the back, like in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
So finally, I had just got to the point where I was like, oh, shit, I think I'm the problem. So, because I couldn't figure out, it was easy for me to blame everybody else. And when, don't get me wrong, like people had parts in it, but then I had to kind of check myself and tell myself, like, but you allowed this to happen. So I had to, basically, I really had to look within myself, have a conversation with myself, and was like, okay, you the problem, but what are you going to do about it?
Right. Okay.
So I
It's
think
deep. I like it.
it's extremely deep, and it's always important to you got to be vulnerable and honest with yourself. And when you're honest with yourself, and you know, I don't think a lot of people are vulnerable with themselves because they don't have a real sense of who they are. And a lot of times when that happens, it's easy to get triggered.
Yeah.
So
I see what you did there.
the word of the day, you know,
Yeah.
is know your triggers.
We gotta have a part 2 to this.
Yeah, well, we definitely have a part.
Because I want
to
to add
this.
a question.
Great.
When we
Well,
get back
okay, wait.
together.
Before we ain't gonna wrap. Let's get your
okay,
question before
okay.
we go.
Okay. What if? How do you deal with if you're afraid of who you really are? Because
In what
sometimes
way?
who you really are may not necessarily be the best of people. Let's just say, you know, it could be an addiction. It could be whatever. And you know for real deep down, like, nah, I know who I am, but I'm afraid of this person. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a good question. So you portraying it. I think that could be one of the things. So like where you're portraying the person that you really want to be, but that's not the real you.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
because like like a deep dive, and I'm not saying that to this extreme, but like if you think like serial killers, rapists, they be having issues and they know it, but they like, I'm afraid of this person, but this person, I know that's an extreme example. This person is who I am, or for a lesser degree. I know some people, I know a person who he is, he's like, no, I like to kick it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I really know, but I know when I kick it, I cause damage. But the honesty, I love it though. So he's fighting something within him that he really know. He know how he like, no, I'm finna smash who I'm gonna smash. I'm gonna shoot some dice. That's me. I like it. But I have a trail and a history of the damage that it leaves behind. So I'm trying to do better because I don't want to damage them. But deep down, I still want to do, you know, all the stuff that was damaging the people.
Well, learning who you are is the first step. But more importantly, you got to seek out the help because you can't do it by yourself. Well, some people can't do it by themselves. So knowing the resources that are available or having the trusted people that you can talk to that are honest with you, and also them being more of a safe space where they can be honest with you and also trustworthy enough for you to be vulnerable. But you just got, like, men in general don't like to ask for help. You know what I mean? But there is help out there. There are resources there. It's a new world. I mean, you know, we were talking about your dad and the old school ways, man. Part of growing up is realizing a lot of the shit that you taught might not have been the best.
Say like when you like how you said like you may inbox them or whatever. How do you build the trust with them where they feel like they can talk to you?
Well, in that sense, the group, I was the head of the group. So I'm constantly talking to them. I'm constantly pouring into them. Every day I will wake up and pour something into them. But me, I read. So if I see somebody that's posting things that don't look right to me, I'll look on their personal page. I'll read the things that they writing. Most of mine started when we had COVID. I started the group. We didn't know COVID was finna hit. So you had a lot of men that were struggling because men stuck in the house, they can't work. You know, they providers. What am I going to do now? You know, we losing everything. So I built a safe space for them. I get like 25 of them in a group at a time. We talk. If I seen somebody was having a bad day, because I would ask questions, how are you doing? And because I was repetitive every day doing it, I had already built the trust. So they would inbox me and ask me questions. And then I would structure whatever I say around what they asking me. So it would never be because I'm buttoning their business. I just ask them like, hey, I seen this. How you doing today? And it was just the fact that somebody asked them how they were doing. A lot of men don't hear, how are you? Women, we so malicious. We so selfish. And a lot of our parents have taught us to just be about ourselves. I went through a lot. I was raped. I was molested young. And I didn't take the men that did it and bulk it into every man. For whatever reason, I wanted to know, like, what in their mind made them do this? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to know, how could I help them? I was hurt, of course, but I had a family that loved me, so I never went through anything where I was stuck there. So having that, somebody asking me, am I okay? Somebody making sure that I made it, it became a part of who I am. So I'll reach out to any of them. If I look at Joaquin and see something I write with him, hey, what's going on? Talk to me. Once you keep doing that and people know that you care, they just open up. My phone will ring and I have a 2-hour conversation with my guy friends because I built the trust. I built the respect. I don't judge them. They can tell me anything. Now, after they get through telling me, I'm gonna be like, hey, how can we do this different? And we gonna set up a plan. And if I have to talk to them further, I'm gonna keep checking on them. We forget to check on our men. And a lot of them are used to not being checked on, so it's normal to them. But for me, I want the man to feel as important as I do. So as I think about myself, I think about them. In the morning, good morning, men, how y'all doing? You know, some of them never heard good morning, you know, so you just kind of change the narrative. And that's what I do in my practice. I change the narrative. And most of my base is men. So it
if
works.
y'all listening, if you listening, you need to inbox
Yeah. So it's a safe space.
It's a safe space.
Yeah, I feel sorry for guys that never hear that. So, because I'm always looking at it from the other side, because I've never lacked any of that. So a lot of times, a lot of behaviors I don't understand because I didn't have a similar experience.
Used to be like that.
Yeah, so I'm
Never went through no whole lot of stuff. So you be like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little different. Like me and Tay, we have some of the same experiences. So I'm kind of like her too, where I don't going through all this stuff when I was younger. I didn't group everybody in that same category. Like I knew all men aren't bad because I had good men around me that showed me like, hey, he was fucked up, but we not.
Right.
You kind of need that. You need that balance. Yeah. And I can understand why sometimes men have anxiety when they get older because you didn't have that balance as a child.
Yeah. And I mean, just even in the balance is something within y'all that would not allow y'all to group everybody into the same category. So that's kind of a great space to be in too, because a lot of people let what they've been define them, what they've been through define them in a negative way. You know, kind of become product of their environments or kind of turn them off to one thing when it may have been an isolated incident, a situation, or with a certain person, and not just women, just men, a lot of people. So I don't know. I think it's good to have the type of personality to be open to understand that everybody's not the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's me personally, man. I enjoyed today.
I know we getting serious, but this whole time we having this podcast, right? I'm just laughing at one of the topics from the other podcast.
What's that?
This is crazy.
This one?
I mean, I've been looking at this the whole time.
What is it? What is it?
I ain't see it.
This one of the topics on the thing said leave kids for dick.
What?
Yes.
It was about somebody who had an experience where he had to tell a young lady, like, ma'am, you need to tend to your kids. Quit trying to come over and fuck me. You can't leave them at the crib by themselves. So it was a,
see, that has context now.
Yeah, it has context. Like, so they got young kids at home at night. and they going to get bust down. It was kind of something we was gonna bring up on the other.
But
yeah,
we're gonna talk about that next episode.
Hey, literally the whole time.
I kept seeing him look down.
I've been looking at it like.
yeah, that's all that was, man. I've known women like that, and then you know what I'm saying, sometimes they ought to be happy they got a good nigga that's trying to tell them you need to tend to your kids instead of come over and fuck with me, because there's a lot of niggas that be like, fuck them kids.
Yeah.
If I gotta tell a dude to send to his kids, that he is not for me.
Period.
Absolutely. But yeah, these girls, man, they get attached. I'll say they'll get attached quickly.
Digmatized.
Yeah, I see. There you go. I wasn't even gonna say. I'm glad you said it. They get digmatized or whatever it is, and it's not the move if you gonna fuck off your responsibilities.
And you know they wild on the other pod. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm just like, man, these some wild
He be
boys.
asking me to come on the
I'm
other
like, these some
podcast.
wild
He be
boys.
asking me to come on the other podcast sometimes. And don't get me
Talk
wrong,
some
it be
shit.
fun, but I be like, oh,
They some
no.
wild boys, yeah.
That's how it was on the
It
radio
just be
station.
me. It just be me. They not wild. It just be.
Yeah, I be having me laugh. I be like, I can't even listen to the whole thing through. I be like, yeah, I'm crazy.
They're retarded.
Crazy. Well, this was another great episode. Tay, I want to
Absolutely.
thank you for coming to share
Thank
some
you for
light,
having
talk
me.
some shit with us.
Please come again.
Yes, please come. That's what she said.
Wild boys.
Trigger.
This has been another in-house media recording.